Acceleron Learning, life experience accelerated. On deck right now, career dynamics and job lost and found. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan Jackson. Losing your job for any reason is a tough situation and can be a blow to your confidence. There's a good chance you'll experience a range of emotions: anger, fear, resentment, embarrassment, and sadness. You'll need to process these emotions so you can move on and make a positive career change. It's important that you fully process emotions and quickly formulate a plan for getting back to work. The cause of job loss will impact your plan for moving forward. Obviously, if you were in a robust industry in a competitive role, but were working for a company that simply fell on bad times, it may be easier for you to find work in a similar role at another company. If you were laid off due to a contracting industry or evolving technology such as manufacturing or media, it will be important to assess your skills and consider alternative career paths. If you were fired due to poor performance, it's important to assess what caused the termination, accept accountability, process any negative emotions, and prepare a plan for moving forward, including a means of discussing your termination with prospective employers. Keep in mind that if you've developed a strong professional network and kept your skills current, your unemployment is likely to be short-lived. Assess the root causes, plan your next steps, and implement your plan to get back to work as soon as possible. This unit will discuss assessing a job loss, career options, and steps to a career change. Come on, let's get started. Let's focus on assessing a job loss. What are the root causes for that job loss? The two main reasons people lose their jobs are layoffs and restructuring, and termination. Layoffs and restructuring are often the result of external forces, causing a company to reduce their workforce in order to cut costs. While companies owe a certain amount of loyalty to their employees, the reality is that business is business. As hard as it may be, if your company has fallen on hard times and could not avoid layoffs, try not to take it personally. Many of us are loyal employees with a strong work ethic, so it can be a huge shock when a company restructures and terminates employees. Termination. It's important for you to think carefully and ask for critical feedback to understand what led to your termination. This will enable you to either A, address the shortcomings or cultural mismatch and move forward within the same career path. Perhaps you didn't meet sales goals, had a personality conflict with your boss, or made other mistakes that led to your termination. Or B, do some soul searching and determine if the job wasn't a good match for your inherent skills, values, strengths, and interests. If this is the case, begin considering a career change. If possible, have a discussion with your manager about what he or she will say if contacted by a future prospective employer for a reference. If possible, get a letter of recommendation which speaks to your strengths. Ask coworkers and managers to serve as references. Avoid the urge to vent frustrations or speak ill of your coworkers or managers. Maintain your dignity and integrity. You want to be sure you're leaving on the best possible terms. Remain professional at all times during the termination process. Take some time to process negative emotions and move on. Apply for unemployment benefits as soon as possible, provided your unemployment is through no fault of your own. Eligibility requirements must be met, which vary by state. If possible, negotiate for additional severance, as well as outplacement services. Following layoffs, many companies offer career counseling and resume assistance. Research COBRA or other healthcare coverage to ensure continuation of health insurance. plan to reduce expenses, and assess your savings. Now, about discussing a termination during an interview. When applying for jobs, don't state that you were terminated on your resume. Also, do not bring up the topic of termination unless you're asked during the interview. If you are asked, make an explanation that is truthful, brief, and positive, quickly turning the conversation to your strong interest in their position and your relevant skills. Keep in mind that your former employer could be contacted. Practice what you'll say with a trusted friend or colleague. Do not lie or misrepresent the situation. Show that you've learned from mistakes by not blaming or speaking ill of your former company, manager, or coworkers. Maintain confidence and professionalism by watching your tone of voice and maintaining eye contact and good posture. For more information on termination from a job, Google this: how to answer questions about being fired. Or you could Google this: how to disclose a job termination.